Well, it's wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So let's begin before we get into your good work by asking you this. 6 years ago, this pandemic totally changed the world. How did you get through that era, and how has it changed the way that you work and do things today?
Well, it was such a pivotal time for me, actually, because I was in corporate America for 15 years in a leadership position and made the decision to leave in 2018 when my oldest was 5.
Mhm.
I had 2 kids at the time. COVID wasn't obviously like, no one even knew that was coming, right? But I am very grateful that I left corporate America and started building a business on my own so that when this pandemic came, I remember thinking, how would I have done this?
Hmm.
I know everyone had to pivot, but I was in a role where I was managing a whole sales team, leading a morning meeting at 8 a.m. every day in New York City and then eventually in New Jersey. It wouldn't have worked for
Yeah.
me. I would have had to leave. I also had a brand new baby, June of 2020.
Mhm.
So I am like one of the women that had to give birth in a mask early on. It was miserable.
Yeah.
But what it actually, it really did pivot how I started my coaching business because I was a woman trying to navigate all the things. And by the way, here's a global pandemic on top of it.
Yeah.
And in New Jersey specifically, we were closed for schools for a very long time. Casinos were open, but schools were not. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But I was now unexpectedly, I had a newborn, I had a 4-year-old, and I had a second grader, and I was trying to navigate schooling for all of them. The
Yeah.
teachers were doing an amazing job, but they were on a screen. Right? So
Yeah.
I had to quickly learn how to block and protect my time and how to be uber efficient with trying to hit some of my business goals while trying to show up and make sure my kids were learning math. It
Yeah.
was wild. It was
It
wild.
was it was a wild time. So let's get to what the work you're doing today.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you in front of 12-year-olds at career day, and one of the kids in the back of the room wants to know what you do for a living.
Yeah.
How do you make your day job make sense to them?
I actually, if you ask my kids what I do, so I have 3 kids, 6, 10, and 13. And my 6-year-old will tell you, my mom helps other moms feel better.
Yeah.
That's how I sum it up.
Yeah.
My coaching, I work exclusively with women. Most of those women are working moms, and most of them, actually all of them, come to me because they are so overwhelmed and underwater and feel like they do not have room for one more thing on their plate. And I help them find room and space to do more of the things that they want and more of the things they need to fill their cup first before serving their household, their offices, their teams, etc. And so yeah, I mean, quite simply, I help other moms feel better. Sounds much different than I'm a coach.
Sure. So how did you get to this point where you decided this is going to be your focus?
When I was in corporate America, I was in a sales leadership position and I helped men and women hit goals. Their goal was to get this much in revenue. So we figured out, how are we going to do that? What does your week have to look like? What does your day have to look like? And we would reverse engineer, what are the controllable actions you can take
Hmm.
to then a year later get this bonus that you're after, right?
Yeah.
And so I loved that part. I loved being a part of someone else's goal planning and goal achievement. They did the work, but I helped them craft a plan and I helped them with the accountability and encouragement to go deliver on that plan. And as I was looking to leave corporate America, I wanted to do more of that. And
Yeah.
I specifically felt this connection with women because I was one of the few women in a leadership position in a male dominated industry and company.
Yeah.
And so when I pivoted, I'm like, there are so many women out there that are feeling like they have to do it all, but literally
Mhm.
don't know where to start. And they're feeling again overwhelmed. So it felt natural because I was doing coaching and leadership in my corporate world. How can I translate that to women across all areas of their life? So whether it's a health goal they had, whether it's a business goal they have, whether it's a goal for their family, we're like, all right, what's ideal? Where are you now? And how do we get you from point A to point B quicker
Hmm.
than you would if we weren't working together?
So what did you want to be when you were a kid? What was your dream gig at 12 years old?
I knew I actually thought I would be a CEO somewhere, and technically I am because it's my own company.
Yep.
But I was very much interested in climbing the corporate ladder. I just didn't know what. I mean, my parents always said I'd be in sales, and sure enough, that's where I built my career. And I'm doing a lot of selling now because I sell my own services
Yeah.
to individuals and to corporations. And I wrote a book, and I'm trying to sell that. I mean, there's sales everywhere, right? I'm sure in your role too.
Yeah.
But I was also like student council president and I'm always the friend that people come to for advice. I probably didn't know it at the time, but there was a lot that I was doing from a young age, being the oldest sibling, one of the older cousins, like I was always the go-to person. And so coaching really kind of aligned naturally. And yeah, now I'm, in my mid 40s and I feel like this is the career that I was meant to do.
Yeah. So are you from Jersey originally?
I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from the Philly area.
Okay.
So very much Philadelphia sports, not New York sports.
I gotcha.
I need to make that clear. Yeah, South Jersey and Philly. Yeah. Yeah.
So what were you seeing from your parents and others around you that made you want to get into this CEO mindset? How did the seeds get planted? How did it become your career?
I am super fortunate to have fantastic parents.
Yeah.
I know that not everyone has that situation. I do not take that for granted. My dad, particularly, was a big encourager and encouraged us to fail, like encourage us to try things. My mom, because she's a protector as well, was like, well, what if you fail? And he's like, yeah, I hope you do. Go fail, right? Go try it. And eventually, like, I mean, they are very aligned with their encouragement now, but she's much more of like a little more timid than
Yeah.
my dad is when it comes to that stuff. And so I think that, I mean, if you look at the careers my brothers are also in, a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of sales leadership. I mean, we always would say our potential is unlimited. That was
Mhm.
like kind of our prayer at night. And because I truly believed that, I wasn't afraid to put myself out there, whether that was to go for a job promotion, to call a client that sounded scary, to put myself out there on social media to advertise my services. I don't feel scared doing that. And I think that has allowed me to spend a lot of time outside my comfort zone, which is
Yeah.
where all the cool stuff happens. So,
True.
yeah.
So beyond your parents, who were inspirations? Who were muses? Who did you model your business acumen after that became your success?
When I don't remember having formal mentors. I'm sure I did, but I remember when I first got into the business world, into corporate America, I was 20. I mean, I had a small stint somewhere else, but I would say 24, 25 is when I started looking at women
Hmm.
that were where I thought I wanted to be. They seemed to, before I knew for sure, have money, have a successful family, like their jobs, have success at their jobs. They seem to be living the type of life that I wanted to live 20 years later. And so I just locked arms with them. Again, not being afraid. Hey, can I pick your brain about stuff? Can you tell me a little bit about this? And I didn't know that by doing that, I was actually advocating for myself, internally at my
Yeah.
job, which actually allowed me to get exposed to things, to get tapped on the shoulder for things, to be fast tracked on a leadership path. That wasn't my intention at the time, but I still do that. Like I'm working with a coach right now. I am a coach and I'm working with a coach who's 7 or 8 years ahead of me in life, but she's also running the type of business that I'm looking to grow. So I am humbly asking her for feedback, advice. Hey, take a look at this. What do you think about that? And people love talking about themselves and love sharing, especially when they're doing really well. They love sharing how they got there. And so I'm just a constant student, but I'm really careful with who I ask advice from
Mm.
and what opinions I value.
Yeah.
Like I want to be well liked, but I'm not going to make a decision that is best for me because I'm fearful of what some chick from high school might think
Yep.
of me on Facebook.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to that, right?
Yep.
And I think that that type of boldness, maybe, or confidence, or uh, you know, awareness of whose opinions I really hold to high regard, that has really helped me as I've sought out mentors and business leaders.
So when you started doing research on this, how long has this realm of coaching been around? I've noticed a lot of interviews that I've had where women get buried. there's all kinds of responsibilities, and it's like they get lost. So, how new is this realm, or how? And I guess my question is, do you think living through the pandemic kind of opened up this portal to having this level of coaching at this point, or has it been around for a long time?
Well, I think the idea, I mean, there's been life coaches
Yeah.
around for a long time, right? And I think that I I haven't thought about this until you asked this question, but my gut thought or feeling around how the pandemic shifted things was I think that was the first time where companies specifically and women, I mean, men too, but everyone was forced to step back and go, okay, how do we make this work without being in the office 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Right. So it started to open up some thinking at
Hmm.
the company levels of do we need to force people to be in every day at this particular hour and stay till this particular hour to get their work done? Now, some people, the pandemic revealed they were terrible employees
Yeah.
and they lost their jobs as a result because they weren't doing the work. They couldn't do it when no one was looking.
Hmm.
That usually phased itself out. It took care
Yeah.
of itself.
Hmm.
But I also think it gave a really unique opportunity for people that, because I think women, like busy women, get stuff done. And they generally can get it done in less hours because they have to. They have to
Yeah.
be wildly focused. There's not a lot of like BS water cooler time.
Yeah.
And I think that that allowed companies to see, hey, maybe we can give some more flexibility to some of the women on our team. Now, as far as coaching goes, I also think that not every company adopted that. And I think that women took a step back and said, wait a second, this actually felt better in some ways. How can I be back in the office, but still get a little bit of the flexibility that I really enjoyed? I didn't even know I needed
Yeah.
until because there is a trend right now, which I'm all about and I'm here for, and I hope it is not a trend and it just becomes an evolution. But women are more comfortable asking for help, I think, than ever before,
Yeah.
especially high achieving women. Now, I'm a high achiever. I work with high achievers. It's our nature to just put our heads down and get the job done. And by the way, high achievers get rewarded with more work, right? So, and we can handle it well. So
Yes.
no one really knows that we're feeling this way until we are at burnout.
Hmm.
And my focus is how can I get to a woman before she reaches burnout? And this is why I partner with companies too, because I'm trying to help companies find the women that are most susceptible, and they're generally not the ones that appear most susceptible.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are juggling all the things. So I think that the pandemic made everyone pause and it allowed companies and individuals to take a step back and reassess and go, huh, like what can we be doing to proactively and reactively support our most important team members?
Sure.
And then I would say specifically women.
So if you can meet anybody on the planet right now that you find inspirational, that does it right, whether it's business or otherwise, who would you love to meet and talk to?
Oh man.
You can round table it if it's tough to pick
Yeah,
someone.
no, I mean, I think about, I like seeing women that have reinvented
Hmm.
themselves in their 40s and 50s, right? So Mel Robbins is someone that comes to mind just because I happen to listen to a podcast of hers. And I
Yeah.
know that not of all of her ideas are hers. She's borrowed a lot from other people, and I think we all share stuff that resonates with us and we share it with our audiences, you know. Um, But I like that she was like rock bottom in her 40s and has built this empire that she probably didn't even see coming.
Yeah.
Um, I think that I'm most impressed with like the random woman that's working at this random company that is making it all work. Like
Yeah.
that is ideal for me. I'm impressed with women that are, at least for me, are running these big companies. There's a woman named Natalie Ellis who runs this company called Boss Babe, and she has two kids and has built that brand, Boss Babe. But more so, she is making tons of money,
Yeah.
but she only makes tons of money when she helps other women make tons of money,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I happily charge what I charge to coach women because I know that they're going to be better versions of themselves after working with me. So
Yeah.
that feels like alignment for me. So she's figured out a way to duplicate and impact more people. So I admire that about her. That would be cool to pick her brain
Yeah.
too.
So, what is the energy for you to do what you do? As an entrepreneur, you got all kinds of irons in the fire. You have
Yeah.
a family, you have a soul. What is the energy for you every day to make this impact in your clients' lives?
I need to remind myself daily, which I do in the mornings before I start my day. I have a pretty rock solid morning routine. I know that's not for everybody, but it has really helped me over the last decade when I was working in corporate America and certainly since I've left. I I write affirmations in the morning and I say, I have helped 1 million women
Yeah,
become better versions of themselves. I have not done that yet. I have not, not even close, right? I got a lot of work to do. But I write that in the morning. And then at night, it's how did I help a woman become a better version of herself today? So
yeah,
my brain is almost proactively seeking out evidence of me doing a little bit towards that bigger goal.
yeah,
And when I'm spending time talking about that stuff, working with a woman one on one or putting a program together for a corporate client, all of that fuels the energy for that goal that's really important to me, that I'm wildly far away from, right? But that's what keeps me going.
yeah,
And also, because entrepreneurs like me have a lot of irons in the fire, it's also hard for me to ignore short-term wins, financially or otherwise, that aren't fully aligned with that main goal that I have.
yeah.
And so I have to be disciplined to, maybe attend to this or set some boundaries and dedicate time. But my main, every hour I'm working really needs to be spent moving myself close. Like this conversation with you. I don't know
Yeah,
if a person is going to hear this
sure.
and they run a company and they just had a really important woman leave their team and they're like, we need to not have this happen again. Or a
Yeah.
woman's listening to it and going like, I need some help. I need to read that book or work with her. Like that's this is all feels valuable to me because it's connected with that larger goal.
So let's say you have a dream tonight. You run into the 18-year-old version of you. You walk into a room, there's a film projector, and you click play, and a 60-second highlight reel of your life comes up. Is that young version of you going to believe your life turned out this way?
You know what? I actually think she might.
Yeah,
She was pretty excited. I mean, 18, I was going to school, had my now I actually think she would because she was pretty ambitious then would wonder why it took so long, right? Why I'm in my 40s now, just realizing this career versus my 30s, right? 40, I mean, at 18, that's ancient, right?
yeah,
But I actually think that looking back, if I were to put that film in reverse, I'm really happy that it took me this long, so to speak, because I have experience going through the trenches that I'm now using to coach women. I mean, if I tried to coach women as a 25-year-old, I mean, who would listen to me? I
yeah.
haven't been through anything, right? And so I actually am totally good with the pace that it all, took place in. But yeah, I think she would wonder why I look a little tired because I've got a bunch of kids, but I
Yeah.
think she would feel like it worked out. Yeah.
So what is the highlight when you look at your career specifically in that highlight reel? What is the thing that you're the proudest of?
I don't think it's happened yet. But I think I'm working towards it. I really believe that women need to be in community in a room. I have yet to put on a retreat for women to get together, to be on stage, to facilitate conversation, that women come to an event and leave feeling much differently than when they walk through the doors at the beginning. So to me, that is a highlight that will appear in my reel. But quite frankly, I actually think like me as a mom and where my kids are right now and the fact that they want to hang out with me, they want me to be around. They also know that again, if you ask my kids, they know that I am doing this to help other moms, right? And I can't be with them all the time. And I still think I'm most proud about how they're turning out.
Yeah.
And that'll beat whatever that retreat looks like 10 out of 10 times.
So what does the word retirement mean to you?
I kind of feel like I'm already there a little bit.
Yeah.
because I have full control over my schedule, how I spend my time, whether I work or not, what I spend my time doing. To me, that feels like I'm already in retirement,
Yeah.
but I have three kids living under my roof. And, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., I have no control of my time because I'm driving to dance competitions and soccer practices and basketball and all the things. So I don't feel like I'm in full retirement yet. I think I'll feel that way when my house is empty, which I'm sure will feel pretty liberating in some ways, but also terribly sad in other ways. And I'm not rushing the next 10 years until that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm in retirement, but also hyper growth mode.
Hmm.
And that feels really cool to be able to be doing this work voluntarily, you
Hmm.
know? Um, so yeah, that's what comes up for me.
So everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I actually think that the perceptions are pretty similar, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I like that the version that my parents get, my best friends, my clients, my kids, my husband, it's all pretty similar.
Hmm.
I'm an encourager by nature. I'm confident. I am high energy. I am passionate about helping the people around me, whether it is my kids, my friends, my clients, just feel better, right? I want them to feel better after spending time with me. And I feel like I do a good job of that. And I think the term coach sums up a lot. But you know how you remember like you have bad coaches and good
Yeah.
coaches? I really do feel like because I bend to, I mean, I have my own style, but I certainly bend to the client that I'm working with. I hope that if they look back, they would add me to that good coach column.
Well, let's get to that place right now. If anybody's
Yeah.
been swayed, they want to reach out, they want to hire you, questions, any of the good business, where do they
Yeah.
go?
So my website is just my name, which hopefully will appear somewhere on here, aliciadupree.com.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, it's at Coach Alicia Dupree. That's probably the easiest ways to get a hold of me to find out about the book that I wrote, the courses that I teach, the one-on-one coaching I offer. It's all right there.
Okay, so before we leave, the
Yeah.
elevator pitch. There's a lot of books people can get into. Give me the elevator pitch for your book.
The Busy Woman's Blueprint is a 6-week self-guided transformation
Yeah.
for women that are looking to reclaim their time and energy and ultimately their lives. We create together sustainable habits that fit your current season of life so that you can enjoy the good old days more while you're living them.
Okay, good. I will put all these links in the show notes. What a great story. Thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck
Thank
with
you.
everything. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thanks, Joe.